obviously Glenn Beck's meltdown was fucking hilarious. And I'm pulling laughing clips tonight and posting them just because, goddamn. And you know, the people who try a little hard, that's fun to watch. The Brian Kilmeades, the Mess D'Souza. But I think more than anybody, watching Jesse Waters just be an angry, petulant piece of shit about the whole thing. Watching this, because there's a big thing on the right wing where they have very incivil, bigoted, gross men, like guys, and they're women too. But in particular, I'm dealing with the men today. If you want to take on the ladies, knock yourself out. But you'll know exactly what I mean, which is that they do the illusion of civility, overt, faux civility. We're just talking, okay? I don't know why you're upset, that kind of shit. And few are as smarmy about it and gross as Jesse fucking Stretch Ben Shapiro Waters. And like, he just has this, like, it's nothing, hey, I'm drinking my lib tears kind of attitude that he's floated on. And it's why he has the gig at Fox. He's one of these dudes who borders on sociopathy, where he can go down to Chinatown or into black neighborhoods. He does it less in black. It's interesting. He more does this with Asians. He goes down and is just basically racist right to their face. Remember that shit? Anyways, just a gross fucker. Just gross. And he does it under this veneer of like, what? If you can't take a joke. I mean, come on. People are so sensitive, right? That's the whole thing. And to watch this motherfucker get this mad and this angry and disappointed. We have not checked on Greg Kelly lately because he's just, he's stewing in his own like blood farts right now. He's just like filling his pants with soup and just, It's great. We'll get to him, I have no doubt. But check this out for a second. I have another Waters clip, but Decoding Fox News pulled this one. I haven't watched the whole thing, but I watched the tip of it. So we'll go beyond just the tip together. Stop it.
Look at what happened, let's say, in Pennsylvania. I can't believe John Fetterman won.
Look, notice how everyone at the table is like, his voice is louder than normal.
Can't believe it.
Yeah.
I honestly can't believe they voted for this guy. So abortion was critical, we know, in Pennsylvania. I did not see that it was going to.
And he means it when he says Nazi that.
To be that critical. Oz was not a great candidate. He had a brutal primary. He took the summer off, and he campaigned hard at the end. But people didn't trust him. They didn't trust the guy. He wasn't from.
Yeah. Thanks to you,
Pennsylvania. And so it all is going to come down to Georgia runoff again. So
no, it's not.
This is about Herschel Walker.
No, it's not. Because we're going to get Mastriano and we're going to get Kelly. And then fucking Warnock will be gravy.
And you know what? There was never a shot, apparently, in New Hampshire. I mean, that guy got railroaded.
We'll get to New Hampshire. Because remember, the flashpoint, there are only two groups that actually thought the New Hampshire thing was happening. The flashpoint guys and people with their heads so far up Trump's ass, they could smell the ketchup.
And if you put up a guy who's running for governor in Pennsylvania who just got slaughtered, I mean, these things have down ballot consequences.
You'd think there'd be strategy or something. Can we just enjoy just how fucking pissed this dickhead is? Because you have to understand, the whole thing is about he's the guy who keeps his cool.
That hurts Oz. It hurts the Republican House.
Yeah, boo fucking you. It hurts Oz. Jesus Christ. Trump's own people turned their back on him. He was a shit candidate to begin with. He voted in Turkey in the last election, and he lives in New Jersey when he's not picking from his 7 other houses. Eat a bag of frog assholes, you dipshit.
Candidates. Zeldin did great, considering this is a deep blue
until he didn't.
State. Kathy Hochul had help from every Democrat. Crooked bill. Obama, Kamala, everybody came in
They're not hypnotists, motherfucker. The voters made up their mind.
to save her. There's just not the hatred.
Okay, now this goes into what we're going to look at. So I don't want to, okay, because that's the clip. I think that's the clip I just pulled up. So check this out. This is, the title of this one is Waters. There's just not the hatred for Biden as there is for Obama and the Clintons. You got head faked, you fuckers. That's what happened to the Republican Party. They got head faked by Joe Biden. Joe Biden slugging right along. He was just there to give ballast. Obama's the real guy we got to take shots at. Biden's not going anywhere. He's just going to sit back there and do VP stuff. He's going to be like an old Dan Quayle. It's no big fucking deal. And then they forgot to pile on all the Hillary bullshit on top of him until it was too fucking late. And then they tried to pull this like Hunter Biden laptop bullshit, which does not exist. And they tried to do it like within a couple of months, and they're like, wait a minute, we can't make up for a lifetime of service and a guy who decided to leave the vice presidency and go fight cancer. We can't solve that in 6 weeks. What the fuck were we thinking? We thought we were going to be fighting Sanders. It's so good. It's so good. Okay, now I want to see the rest of this shit. Ooh, it's just... it's going to be a rough one. It's going to be a rough one today. Okay, let's go.
Just glad my red wave prediction was accurate.
In
Florida,
how much money do you owe Geraldo? How much money do you owe Geraldo?
And you,
Oh, by the way, Geraldo bet Jesse Waters and I think Perino $1,000 that there would be no red wave, and they have to pay up
100.
100, which adds to 1,100, and the 1,000 will go to charity.
No, it's going to go to Geraldo.
Oh.
Many people see me as a charity case, so we'll see where that.
No. That's no one sees you at that. Because believe me, if you were a charity, Trump would be not donating to you, but sitting on your lap.
What, are you
goes
saying you're receiving money
to
now?
the Waters Foundation. No, I'll pay up. And
Yeah, sure.
What's your take overall?
What's your take overall? Strychnine?
so, the House is now in McCarthy's hands.
No, it's not.
Pelosi will probably go to Rome to be ambassador, and that's fine. And they'll be.
That's fine. That's fine. I mean, we used to have somebody good there, Newt Gingrich's third wife, who he proposed to while his wife was recovering from surgery.
Investigations, which is good. I was disappointed in the Senate outcome because the polls
Oh, just wait. You're going to be even more disappointed.
showed it was going to be 52-53.
No, they didn't. Well, and by the way, he considers the heavily slanted right-wing Republican polls the polls, which are not the polls.
If you look at what happened, let's say in Pennsylvania, I can't believe
so this is the whole
John
thing. Just
Fetterman won. I can't believe it.
That's because you don't live there. You live in a weird little space station Fox bullshit bubble, and you have no real friends in life. That's why. The world must be amazing to Jesse Waters. It must just fucking... Everything he sees must boggle his mind, since he's an asshole straight from Uranus, and he's landed on Earth, and he's like, what are these humans about?
Yeah.
I honestly can't believe they voted for this guy. So abortion was critical. We know in Pennsylvania.
We know.
I did not see that it was going to be that
Yeah, fucking chicks, am I right?
critical. Oz was not a great candidate. He had a brutal primary. He took the summer
Never saw
off.
this.
Didn't trust the guy. He wasn't from Pennsylvania. And
I wasn't from Pennsylvania. Oh, all right. You can't, it's a little late to literally side with all of Fetterman's dunk tweets. That's what he's doing. Let's be abundantly clear. Jesse Waters is agreeing with every one of John Fetterman's dunk tweets about him, about Oz living in New Jersey. fuck you. You don't get to like, oh God.
And it was fraudulent the way that Fetterman hid his condition and then
hid his condition.
This debate, had debated the last week. By that time, they banked so many early votes. So Republicans.
Yeah, that's what it was. If people had just seen how well he did even after having a stroke against Oz, and how shitty Oz did against a guy who'd had a stroke, who's going to recover and is recovering fine. As a matter of fact, he was better at his his acceptance speech than he was even at the debate, and he was just fine in the debate considering what he was going through. Like, he's literally got to use a teleprompter essentially for the other person. He's got to read what they're saying. He's got to use closed captioning for a while. Some people are saying Fetterman faked the stroke. Yeah, that's how they do it.
Republicans really have to get a hold of this early vote thing.
What do you mean get a hold of it? They told everyone not to, you fucking putz. I mean, look, okay, even Lindsey Graham. Hold on. Check this shit out. Let's see if this comes up. Videos. Yeah. 1 second. Latest. Maybe it's in here. Yeah, here you go. And it's co-starring Stretch Ben Shapiro. Check this out. We'll just file this under Hal told you so, a fucking chapter 1000.
But what happened in Pennsylvania?
I think you nailed it. Early vote killed us. Pennsylvania is a tough race. When your governor candidate loses by 14, it's pretty hard for you to win as a Senate candidate. Mm-hmm.
Well, here's an idea. How about don't follow around a former president who talks everyone out of early voting and pals around with Mike fucking Pillow, who says don't trust early voting, only show up on the day, and then whenever that guy makes a left turn, chuck his balls in your mouth and let him drag you. Who's fucking, like, look how mad they are, like it's our fucking fault. The Democrats made us skip the early vote. Shut the fuck up.
What happened?
Oh, hold on 1 second. I'm clicking play on
There's
the wrong
no
thing.
Republican early vote strategy.
Yes, there was. Fuck you. Of course there was. Don't do it. That was the strategy. The strategy was don't trust the early vote. Only vote on the day, rain or rain. Come rain or thunder or storm or wind. Stand in the line like an asshole, even when you have options. Fuck it. Of course you had a strategy. The strategy was don't. Son of a bitch.
Can anybody tell me what that is?
Yeah, I just did, dummy. That's why they won't have me on the show. 2 reasons. Funnier than Greg, which is not saying a shit ton, really. It's whatever. And I look even better with a glass table because there's 2 of me. And I don't take shit like most of the other people that they have on our side. Although she's fantastic.
On election day. Democrats vote for 5 weeks.
Yep.
So there's this...
No. We do not vote for 5 weeks. We vote once. We just have 5 weeks to do it. Because we have shit to do. Lives, hobbies, jobs. We don't fucking spend all day on QAnon Reddit threads like fucking lunatics.
Mass mobilization campaign that's underway in these early voting states, and Republicans are sitting it out.
Yeah. What could be the reasoning behind this? Besides the fact that they're fucking stupid. Gosh. What could it be? It's almost like someone warned you and tried to even encourage everyone to vote as best they could, and somehow you think I'm not on your side. Jesus fucking Christ.
They get souls to the polls in Philly, as they say. They're not...
Yeah, as they say. They being the blacks.
Knocking on doors. They're handing in ballots. There's paper everywhere.
Yeah, it's just chaos.
What's the Republican plan? I don't know, so they need to plan for that.
I know exactly what the plan is. Stay home and jack off to Kimberly Guilfoyle memes where she's going, "That Beth, and then go, "I'm going to go on the Tuesday because that's how Americans do it."
Georgia, I'm nervous about because it looks like Latsalt's going to hold on in Nevada.
No, it does not.
Masters is cooked in Arizona.
That's true.
So it all is going to come down to Georgia runoff again?
Nope. No, it's not. It is not. Nope. It's going to be gravy.
So this is about Herschel Walker?
And you know,
Yes. Nice job, guys. That was also your early vote plan. Hey, you know who people get really excited about?
Why?
We're counting on...
Oh, no, oh, no, oh, no. Fucking Greg is going to pipe in, and this makes me very nervous. I'm concerned about hitting play right now. Because I don't know what the ape shit is going to come out of Greg's mouth right now. And yeah.
Herschel, who I like,
abortions.
and
At least you're admitting that he.
Wait a minute. He just said just abortions.
You know why?
We're counting on Herschel, who I like.
Abortions.
You know why the left hates him? He had abortions. Oh my God. The stupid. No. It's that he had abortions and he paid for him, which should be between him and the woman if she wants to involve him in that decision. And if he wants to pay for him, that should be his ability. But he wants to deny other people that right because it's an elitist Washington upper class bullshit way of living because there's us and there's the plebes, which is exactly what Fox is always telling you that the Democrats are all about. Holy shit.
At least you're admitting that he did pay.
Who I like, by the way. Yeah. Jesse Waters hangs out with Herschel Walker. He likes him. They're cut from the same jib, man. They party. If I tell you, if you go to New York or Georgia, and either one of them is in either of those states, they're joined at the fucking hip. How many people actually believe that fucking Jesse Waters actually likes Herschel Walker?
They crushed him on these abortions.
By the way, when he said I like him, Greg Gutfeld laughed at that, it sounds like. Hold on, back up.
This is about Herschel Walker?
If he wasn't laughing at his own shitty joke, which wasn't a joke, it was just...
And you know why?
We're counting on Herschel, who I like.
Abortions.
At least you're admitting that he did pay for them.
They crushed him on these abortion attacks. I mean, this is going to be another nail biter, and it makes me very nervous. So...
That makes me happy. Can I just enjoy that for a minute? Honestly, can I just... By the way, there's a guy using a leaf blower outside the window, so that'll pass, but we're good. It sounds a little noisy outside. No one is attacking my studio with a chainsaw. We're okay.
You also have Good Races Run by Ron Johnson. He's in there.
Good Races. He almost lost by one... He's the incumbent white dude in Wisconsin, and he almost lost to someone to the left of AOC by 1% in Wisconsin. He fucking did not. They did everything they could to protect him. It was a 1% squeaker. Mandela Barnes is a great dude, but he's way left for even by Wisconsin standards. And he still got this close. Are you stupid? We should have, if Democrats had run a more sort of almost not quite Manchin-esque candidate in Wisconsin, Johnson wouldn't have had a fucking chance. And even still, and like I said, Mandela Barnes is a good dude. Even that way, dweep, squeaker.
Going to investigate the hell out of the Biden crime family. Biden was very against his election. That's good. But there was...
Yeah, That's good because he totally has a mandate right now with a 1% squeaker election.
There's never a shot, apparently, in New Hampshire. I mean, that guy got railroaded. And if you put up a guy who's running for governor in Pennsylvania who just got slaughtered.
Yeah, almost like the, I don't know, the northern soldiers and slaves that were slaughtered by people who also dressed up in Confederate uniforms many years ago.
I mean, these things have down ballot consequences.
Yeah. Also, why are you yelling that now at that table when you were yelling red wave for a fucking week?
That hurts Oz. It hurts the Republican House candidates. Zeldin did great, considering this is a deep blue state. Kathy Hochul had help from every Democrat.
Right, we saw this part.
Barely held on, but Zeldin had coattails and got a bunch of House Republicans in there. Yep. And it looks like a bunch more House Republicans are going to come in.
And they're not going to be able to, those guys aren't going to be fucking MTGs. They're in New York. They'll lose their job in 2 years if they act like that.
Through the West Coast. You think this is going to be a nail biter? They're going to have the House. It's not going to be the biggest margin of all time. It's
going to be so sweet.
going to be bigger than they say it is right now.
Yeah.
But
no, it isn't.
This was a red wave if you're looking at in Florida.
You can't have a one-state red wave, fucko, especially when you already have those seats. You can't have an incumbent red wave. That's ridiculous. That's the ocean. That's the Red Sea, as metaphors go. Red wave. What do you need a wave for? You're in a puddle of red.
Stacey's no longer with us. She's going to go back to writing erotic novels. Abbott won. Beto, bye-bye. Find another office to run.
Also got extremely close considering. No, he's going to run again. Sorry. Welcome to perennial candidacy.
There's just not the hatred for Joe Biden.
Oh. Yes, there is. At TYT. Come on.
I think there is for Barack Obama and for the Clintons.
Okay, by the way, there isn't hatred for Barack Obama and the Clintons. There is among, I guess, right-wingers and those fucking psychopaths. I mean, the baby milkshake adrenochrome fuckers. But they think that of everybody that doesn't think like them with a modicum of power or authority or responsibility.
It's not a hate Biden vote that's out there. You know when you go with Trump's on the ballot, there's that hate Trump Democrat.
Oh, yes, I'm quite familiar. I've never had to use my hate Trump vote. It's always there in my back pocket because I like the people I get to vote for. But I understand.
But people just don't feel the same passion against the guy that they also feel.
He's just...
Yeah, it must be that whole passed an infrastructure bill, passed a rescue package, got us out of fucking Afghanistan, passed the CHIPS Act, isn't taking shit from China, says he'll stand up for Taiwan, is backing Ukraine. All the things that Americans are like, yeah, maybe, yeah. Isn't taking away a woman's right to choose, isn't making that a focal point, trying to pass 4 fucking referendums that all, to the bill, eat shit.
For other
really
people.
Nice guy.
And we have a problem.
He's a really nice guy.
Demographically, single women are voting for Democrats by 30 points.
37.
The chicks, am I right? Single women. What the hell? You're like, ladies, will you settle down with a nice Ted Bundy so he can throttle you and tell you who to vote for? Shut the fuck. All right, dude, by the way, this dickhead just shaved a point off of Republican votes next election. Thanks for that, Jesse. This little clip, this little bullshit right here is not going to pull people in.
37 points. Yeah. And in urban America, they're cleaning.
By the way, some of those women, fuckhead, are going to be married, more than likely, just statistically speaking, by the time the next election happens. And you know what's going to change about their vote? Fucking nothing. None of them are going to shack up with a Bongino light. So, you know, or a fucking Gutfeld who can stand over their shoulder and go, let me see what you're going to write. Let me see what you're going to write. Let me see what you're going to write. Nothing.
Our clocks in the cities. Cleaning our clocks. I'm not saying anything nefarious is going on, but they are cleaning our clocks in the.
Well, you have dirty clocks. Your clocks are fucking disgusting. I'm just gonna say they got. I mean, somebody sprayed a swastika on them and you just left it there. I don't know why that is. Your clocks are a fucking mess. I'm just saying you need your clock cleaned once in a while. Dust the fucking thing. You know, at least adjust the tumbler so it's, you know. Look, you might be happy being, you know, broken as a clock and only right twice a day, but the rest of us have to work for a living.
The cities, and we're giving it away.
Give it away, give it away, give it away now. Give it away now. Where's that red wave didn't come? Damn it to her. Give it away, give it away.
And the fact that these youth voters are coming in so strong on an off year is very concerning.
Fucking kids today, am I right? These goddamn hippies.
It looks like they've been brainwashed. This new
Shit. It looks like they've been brainwashed. This fucker spoke at Talking Points USA to the youth conservative movement on a stage that looked like an Odin rune that the Nazis had used as a symbol of the SS. Brainwashed. The
generation
fuck?
Is totally.
Yeah, it's all fucking TikTok. God damn it. By the way, TikTok is malware. Get it off your phone.
Brainwashed because a lot of these single women that vote 37 spreads for Democrats are teaching.
Weird choice of words. Spreads for Democrats. I'm not saying anything. I'm keeping my mouth shut.
All of our younger generation in these schools, and they're polluting their minds.
See, look, they all caught it too. They're all like, spreads for Democrats. Ew. Wow.
And then they grow up, and then they're in their 20s, and then they vote for leftists.
Where are we?
We are coming to you for your reactions of any.
Oh, dear God. Yeah. So after that rant, we're going to go, Dad's a little angry. Kids, okay, he's upset. He's had a long day at the office, and we're all going to sit here and we're going to have dinner together because it's family time, okay? And Papa's just had a little and he's a little So if we could all just use our church voices and keep it together, and then you can read in your bedrooms and cry like Mom does after a little on my own. And so why don't we just have a jokey moment? Let's have who has something funny to say at the dining room table? Who can say something to cheer us all up?
I don't know. I can't get wrapped up in this. I don't see what the problem is. I didn't need a red wave. I implored people to be realistic. What you're seeing right here is the Democrats are thrilled because their expectations were disastrous, and the Republicans are a bit bummed because their expectations were too high. Right? That's what you're seeing.
No. Actually, you're saying that people looking historically at midterms are always, there's a level of trepidation that everybody has, including, even Trump when he lost in his midterm. It's kind of how the American electorate usually goes. And strangely enough, this time it was the smallest ever, if not a complete refutation of the history. This may be, by the time we're done, the first time in something like 40 years where it didn't change hands by the time we're done. How do you like that shit? That might be why.
Everybody got a little pleased. Everybody got a little disappointed.
No. Did you listen to Jesse? Jesse is not a little disappointed.
So I'm happy that Republicans flipped some seats. I'm happy about DeSantis. I'm happy about.
Are you happy that Democrats flipped some seats? I'm a happy guy. It's fine.
Yeah, but I'm bummed about Hochul.
He was bummed about Hochul.
Also happy that Zeldin put crime front and center. That helped push New York to the right. You can't always get what you want, but you might get what you need.
Oh my God, he's so wise. Greg Gutfeld is so wise. Oh.
To quote Air Supply.
Oh,
thank you.
Supply.
Yeah, and the fact is,
Jagger.
Jesus. Anyway,
he was being ironic, but there was no root to the irony, so everybody else thought he was just being dumb. what you do is you go to quote a ketchup commercial or to quote a Chevy commercial or something like that, where the song might have been used. But what you did was confuse all the other humorless assholes at the table.
The point is this: the only thing that matters, is the House, and
yeah, that's all that matters. We don't need the White House or the Senate, and as long as we have a squeaker margin in the House, everything's fine. Glug glug.
Win is a win. It doesn't have to be a red wave in the House. It could be a narrow win.
Yes, it does, because Kevin McCarthy, without a large number, won't have the majority that he needs to get himself speaker. So it's going to be a fight over speaker. So even if you guys manage to squeak out one extra vote or this side of it, you're still going to be fighting amongst yourselves more than you're fighting with Democrats. And that's fucking hysterical.
But if you want the investigations, if you want your hands on the purse strings, if you want National Greg Gutfeld Day, you got to have the House. You got to have this. The Senate is less important, although it would have been cool. But the thing is,
the Senate is less important. You literally can't pass anything.
This is what it is. This is not the end of democracy. That's the funny thing about this. People were.
That is the funny thing.
Were whipped up.
You could say it. Just spit it out. People were whipped up. Is that what you were trying to say? By the way, by who? By Fox and Friends, by Jesse, by Glenn Beck, by all these fucking tools.
Into a fervor that the democracy was coming and blah, blah, debate was ending. And what it is people got disappointed. They got pleased. It's not so bad. Now you got a balance of power. Now you got Biden in the White House. You got the Republicans on the purse strings.
No, you don't. Because Biden can still, because he's going to maintain the Senate, he can still pass all of his judges. He doesn't need the House to do that, you fucking dummy. Well, I'm sorry. Do you think he knows that? My bad. Do you think Greg has any fucking idea that you would rather have the Senate than the House if you have to split the two? Because the Senate is both a bulwark against stuff you don't want to get through, and you can pass judges and Supreme Court justices. He has no fucking idea. None.
That's good.
There's also...
That good. Am I happy man? Oh, boy. Make a poo-poo.
The Democrats
Jesus.
spent a lot of time and money saying that all of these Republicans, if they lost, they wouldn't accept the results.
Yes.
That has not been true.
Have you checked on Carrie Lake lately? She just dropped another 8,000 votes behind, and she's like, we're going to burn this place to the ground.
But, the lesson for Fetterman is that, you know what? People care less about the actual functioning of a candidate than whether they can win. And so you could put, as Nancy Pelosi once said, a glass of water. Remember when AOC? You can run a glass of water, it's going to win.
That's because that's the district. She was making the point that as a Democrat, that district is so democratic, you can run anybody with a D next to the name and they will make it. That is not true of statewide almost anywhere except red states. It's the whole fucking state. You have to win across every county. He doesn't even know where the root of the analogy came from.
And that's basically it.
Republican.
Yeah, that's basically it. Thanks, Greg. Thanks. Hey, do me a favor, buddy. Pipe down the rest of the show. The adults are whining.
Have to run perfect candidates.
Yes.
They can run.
They have to run perfect. So you're saying Dr. Oz was an imperfect candidate. It wasn't that he sucked and didn't live in the state and said Wegmans and Wegners backwards and his whole crudité fucking bullshit, and he ran with Trump and then against Trump and then he ran with Trump again and then he lost fucking Oprah. It was just that he was, you know what I mean? It was a smidge. He was a smidge. He was smidgy. He was almost, he had an inner perfection that didn't translate into an outer perfection. That's what his problem was. Same thing with Walker. Walker is just this shy of perfect, except for the 6 abortions and the lies and the weird fucking badge and the odd sentence structure and the inability to understand anything that fucking matters.
water glasses.
Well, Herschel's
I
not
got it.
perfect.
Okay.
Just better
They
than
want me to play
mediocre.
this sound, and they're going to fire me. This is from
Oh, that's lovely.
President Biden at the White House. This was his press conference. This is what he said about 2024, which is our next election. Watch.
The Democratic Party outperformed anything anyone expected and did better than any off-year presidency since John Kennedy.
True. And just wait.
Is one that gives everybody like, whew, sigh of relief that the mega Republicans are not taking over the government again, et cetera. And so my judgment of running when I announce, if I announce, my intention is that I run again, but I'm a great respecter of fate, and this is ultimately a family decision.
Okay, so what does it mean, Judge?
The amazing part.
Oh my God. Like, by the way, can we just stop for a second, take a breath, and realize how presidents past, multiple ones, Obama, Bill Clinton, think of the times they've been asked about, are you going to run again? What's your plan for running? When are you going to announce? All that kind of shit. And the hesitancy of how they say it, trying to word it exactly right without announcing that they're announcing. And the many times like Trump going, you're going to be very, very, very happy. I can tell you very, very soon. That nonsense. Think back to the like Reagan or Bill Clinton or anybody talking about running again. Sounds almost exactly like that. Just normal as shit. Like the whole that chunk of Biden speaking was totally fucking normal. And by the way, imagine yourself in that position and you're sitting there and you're answering questions about the economy, about supporting Ukraine and all these other things. And somebody asks you, do you think you're going to run next time? Have you made your decision? Any of that stuff. And you're like, well, there's a lot of stuff about this election that I think a lot of people are looking at it, from the perspective of this is the best anybody's done for the last 40 years. And so we're all breathing a sigh of relief about this. And as I make my decision going forward, and I'll talk with my family, and I'm a big believer in fate. And when I make that decision, which I fully intend to do, but that will be a personal decision. We will do it as a family. Like, how fucking normal? Just fucking. That's the thing. That's also the thing. The reason, like, Jesse Waters doesn't understand why there's no hate for Biden is because when people see him, even a man with a stutter, even an older man in his situation, we're like, yeah, that's fine. There's none of that where you're like, God bless the United States. Like, there's none of that shit.
Of it is that presidents who have suffered more crushing midterms have gone on to win a second term. Joe Biden today.
Yeah, and in the case of Trump, he suffered a more crushing midterm, and he fucking lost. Recent history would tell you.
Is lucid. He's kind of upbeat. He seems pretty happy. He's ready to roll again. So that's what came out of the midterms. Forget the red wave, the red tide, whatever it was. It doesn't matter at this point.
It mattered yesterday. And also, does anybody know what the fuck happened to her hand? I'm going with bowling injury, or she crushed a wine stem because she was mad and sliced a tendon.
Joe Biden is running again. And I got to say one more thing. The thing that disappoints me is
Jesse. No, Greg. Sorry. Greg and Jesse. Mostly Greg, but also Jesse.
That you've got Fetterman, where people are voting September 19th. They don't even see whether he's capable of speaking until the 25th. Katie Hobbs.
No, he did an interview, and they spoke several times. He went to these different counties. He just didn't do big public speeches and that kind of stuff while he was getting better.
Will not debate Carrie Lake.
Because she's gross. Because she's a creep. That's why. Because she's a Q asshole. That's why. Because it's embarrassing. Because you'd rather talk to your constituents. By the way, when I end up running for office, and you know it's coming, One of the things that I will be stressing while I do it, and this is not just because I like people and I like to be liked, I suppose, it's that even whether you have an opponent or not, if you're running unopposed in an election, or if you have 10 fucking people, you're not running against them. You are auditioning for a job. It's a job interview. The thing isn't even, nobody can say, I will do it better than this person because there's too many moving parts. Even the best laid plans, everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the face. There's all that stuff. So even somebody you're like, wow, this guy's got it together. He seems really sharp. Can totally shit the bed. Elon Musk taking over Twitter. I rest my case. So no matter how much people think somebody's a genius, it can fall apart. So you're not really, auditioning against the other person. You're saying, I can bring the best of myself to this job, and I'm doing it for the voters and the people who live in the district, whether they vote for me or not. You're never running against someone, really. You're always just trying to get hired. It's a temp job, and you're trying to convince them that you can do the temp job better than the other person can do the temp job. But it's really about how well you can do it, because you can never really tell by comparison. You might have different ideologies, you might have different ethics, but somebody could be the most pious, organized person in the world, and they could just turn out to be a fucking crook. So ultimately, you're running for the job, not against the person. The Republicans have yet to learn that, and they are not going to anytime soon.
And she can barely put a sentence together. And she's very close to Carrie Lake now, although who knows who's counting in Arizona. I mean,
Republicans largely dumb shit.
I don't know if, I'm not going to say it, if people who can't read are counting. And
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. She's making the case that a lot of people in Arizona are stupid. Dumb people work in government and volunteer to help with elections. Those people, like people who would volunteer to help with elections, those people are illiterate and stupid, according to Judge Pearl Necklace.
And then the other thing is Joe Biden was in the basement. He didn't come out. So the more you hide, the more you don't debate, the more you delay, you're going to win. It doesn't
you have the media
matter.
on your side.
He wasn't in the basement. We were all at home, fuckhead. As a matter of fact, that was the way you campaigned during COVID to win the most votes, is going out and having big rallies and growing big groups and stuff may or may not, show some level of support and convince some people on the sides that, wow, this guy's got a lot of people following him, and get a cult-like bump of some sort. But the way you run in all seriousness for the role as president of the United States in 2020 specifically is to go, look, we all have to stay home. This sucks, but you can't enjoy all the fruits of crime. No, the joys of this nation if you're fucking dead.
Side if you're a Democrat.
Yeah.
That's why.
I agree.
Do you want to talk about Biden 2024 for a moment?
Well, look.
Yeah, since you're already got fucking hot sauce coming out your ears.
Looks like he's going to run after he
Yeah, it looks like it. What gave you that idea? That he fucking said it?
talks it over with Jill. And it looks like Trump is going to run.
By the way, that was supposed to be a slight when he talks it over with Jill. Like you talk shit over with your wife. The fuck does she have a say in it? Are you kidding? That's what he was saying. That's Jesse Waters, ladies and gentlemen. That's, ugh.
Because he's going to announce next week. So it looks like it's a rematch. And
Trump's not announcing next week. He's going to announce some bullshit about an exploratory committee. He's going to duck and fucking dodge, and it's going to go away. I'm calling it right now. And if he doesn't, the poll part of it will go like that, and he'll have to pull out immediately. It'll be the most embarrassing fucking thing. If he thinks Afghanistan was embarrassing for the nation, wait till they get a load of this.
And in this environment, it looks tough for Donald Trump. If you look at what happened last night.
That's nice. That's kind of fun. Can we hear that again? Shit. Wait 1 second. What? Say that again? Say that on Fox News again? What?
Environment, it looks tough for Donald Trump. if you look at what happened last night. Environment, it looks tough for Donald Trump. If you look at what happened last night. Environment, it looks tough for Donald Trump. If you look at what happened last night. Some of his.
That's Fox News, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Fox News. It's at its peak. This is and don't take it out on Jesse. He's hurt, and when he's hurt, he lashes out.
Candidates did not do well, and
yes, they shit the rug, I think is the statement you're looking for.
I think a lot of people are thinking, he put together this massive war chest, didn't spend the kind of money that.
Oh, he spent it all right on himself. He spent it on fucking golf greens and banners for the Live tournament for the Saudis, and I guess transportation costs for national secrets has got to be expensive.
A lot of people had hoped
legal fees
he'd spend, and it's going to.
He does something.
Bring out the crazies on the left. I mean,
I feel seen.
I love Trump. I want him to run. I think he's a great candidate.
Yeah, he loves Trump. He thinks Herschel Walker is awesome. Dude, can you imagine the fucking phone tree at Eyebrow House?
Loved him as president. He brings out such insanity on the left. They will walk over hot coals to vote against Donald Trump.
Yeah, but that's only because I've done the Tony Robbins thing and I've walked over hot coals before. And it was refreshing, I would say. Jumping from the giant pole to the trapeze arm that's really far out. That's a tough one. That's but I like heights. I know a lot, but I haven't done that one yet. I look forward to doing it, but yeah, I'd walk over hot coals. It's not a big deal.
But then you have Joe.
Because you have to understand, I'm not really to carry this analogy forward. I'm not walking over hot coals to vote against Donald Trump. And again, this is his fixation, not mine. I'm walking over hot coals because I believe in a woman's right to choose. I believe in minority rights. I believe that LGBT people should be able to live freely in the United States. I believe that that we should all have access to health care. I believe that we should have solid roads and bridges and schools, and that our vets shouldn't live on the street, and that we shouldn't stay in places like Afghanistan for 25 fucking years. Shit like that. So that's really why I'm walking over those coals. Thank God I don't have to. You know why I don't have to? Because I voted by mail, and there was no lava that, there wasn't like a volcano that erupted on election day where I would have to walk across fucking lava to vote like some dumbass Republican who thinks the machines are whatever.
Joe Biden.
What does it mean, mega worldwide? Well, A, I'm on the internet, so it goes all over the world. But B, it's a made-up word because my radio show was originally Hal Sparks radio program. I was just going to call it the Hal Sparks radio program. That's it, because I was trying to be grungy and just keep it basic. And because I had the Hal Sparks band and I had the Hal Sparks radio program, I was trying to keep it, keep the brand tight. And somebody wrote down HSRPM instead of HSRP, and because they thought that was, and like HSRPM sounded good, but I didn't have a meaning for the word. I didn't have an M, for the letter. I didn't have a word for the M. So I made one up that sounded ego-y and silly. Hal Sparks Mega Worldwide, right? It's everywhere. There you go.
Who's just like this.
So my radio show is HSRPM because of that. But that's true. Oh, and Flank, that's just a reference to Frank.
It's like guy, he's like falling asleep up there. He doesn't inspire the passion from the right that you'd expect. I mean,
yeah, it's almost like they're fine with him because they know he's not what you say he is. I'll tell you what, it's not so much that they couldn't come up with the hate for Biden, if indeed he was actually what you called him every day. Because they hate everything that the Fox people bring up. They hate all the fucking commie woke, blah, blah, blah. But Biden isn't that any more than your average American is that. You have certain things you care about, but you're not a fucking, a caricature of like an activist Antifa person, even when you believe fervently in shit that they want you to be, and that it just doesn't stick. They throw shit and it just doesn't stick.
I can't stand the guy. I think he's destroying the country.
Yeah, but that's because you're stupid.
On the border, on the dollar.
On the border. The dollar's stronger than it's ever been, and the border's stopping more fentanyl and people crossing than ever.
Everything.
But more Democrats
And everything. This is...
than were expected came out to vote.
No. Hi, stupid. What do you look at me for? Republicans actually had a 4-point edge nationwide in turnout. You hear me? More Republicans voted in this nationally across all elections put together than Democrats did. But a bunch of them split the fucking ticket because they didn't like the MAGA folks and they chose Democrats in lieu of that person. Yeah, they told Trump, they told Trump to go pound sand. And there's no better example of it than fucking Kemp and to some degree DeSantis.
Right. And that is
right. Wrong.
Is abortion. That is incredible amount of funding they threw.
By the way, it's not abortion. The point isn't abortion. No one's coming out for abortion. They're coming out for the right to choose that in your life, especially around rape, incest, and the life of the mother. It isn't about abortion. Nobody's like I think they think of the right to have that choice the same way they think of the Second Amendment. They think of rights all kind of being equal in their latitude, and they can't understand that a woman that's a difficult decision that involves a lot of soul searching, and especially if it's late in the pregnancy and they were hoping for it, and then it's, you know, it might kill them. The baby's not viable. There's all sorts of horrible things. And if they want to have another child, they might have to do this and all the things that women have to struggle with. They can't picture that because they look at a woman's right to choose the way they look at the Second Amendment. Just have if I want a fucking machine gun and I want to carry it when I, through a fucking mall, that's what I want to do. So they, I think, look at the choice argument the way they look at weaponry. If I want the ability to have a fucking Laws rocket for home defense, then women must want to abort babies 2 years after they're born. That's what I think. New York fucked us. No. New York is just fine. We're all right.
Let me go to
candidates.
Let me go to Greg and get Jesse.
Yeah, go to Greg again. This is too much.
Terrible
get
economy.
Jessica at the last minute.
Terrible economy.
Because one of the things that would be different if Joe Biden runs this time is that COVID, we hope, won't be back, and he would have to be out on the campaign trail.
Yeah,
And so would Trump. And he's amazing.
no, they'd find another. No, there'd be another strain of COVID. Yeah, it'd be COVID 2023, and when that, and he'll be hermetically sealed, probably in a sarcophagus.
Yes.
How's that
very
for a
good.
word?
Nice
How's that?
It's not the word you're talking about. A sarcophagus would be after you're dead. What you're trying to think of is Boy in the Plastic Bubble.
That for a word. I don't know. I don't buy any of this.
Yes, because you're not invested in life, Greg.
2 years. That's a long time.
Yeah.
We've watched him degrade over periods of months, and then he.
No, you haven't. Fuckstick, Janine just told you how spry and upbeat and clear he was. You have not watched that.
Comes back and he's lucid and he's not. And
Right. He comes back and then he's lucid and he's not, unlike Trump, who's been consistently degrading over time.
also, it's 2 years is a long time for the Republicans, too. We talk about Trump.
Yeah, that's plenty of time to get their shit together.
I gave him 80% that he's going to run. But I also
he's
think
gonna run.
that DeSantis is right now the guy that's he's a different rival than the others because he's a strong governor who just whipped Charlie Crist.
Right, but he could get destroyed in a primary with Trump.
And there it is.
Brutalized, annihilated.
How so?
Verbally.
Yeah, but
Yeah, that's enough. I mean, you got to understand. He might be a strong governor with a conservative track record, but he's a cream puff and a whiny baby. And if anybody calls him a name, he'll have to call that person a name, and then they'll both be calling each other names like grown-ups.
And I think if you look at the voters in these primary states in the South, in critical battleground states, will vote for Trump over Ron DeSantis.
No question.
Okay, what about
Who said no question? Who was that?
In critical battleground states, will vote for Trump over Ron DeSantis.
No question.
okay?
That was Judge Janine. That was Janine. No question.
What about the Democrats? Are they comfortable with Joe Biden running in?
Yeah, Jesse's the fucking Democrat whisperer. I'll tell you, yes. Fucking yes.
2024.
Based on last night's results, I would say yes overall. But what was really exciting to me is that you actually saw, and I get asked this a lot, where's your bench? Well, my bench, the Democrats' bench, was
Whitmer, Newsom,
winning all over the country. Gretchen Whitmer, we're going to talk about what happened
Shapiro.
in Florida.
who my girlfriend Summer points out, and you won't be able to unhear this once you do, but Governor Shapiro in New York, PA, sounds exactly like Obama. He talks exactly.
That's
A couple
your bench.
What?
I mean, she did win, but she's no bench.
Does she won by the same margins as Ron DeSantis? Josh
He is not too old. Calm yourself.
Shapiro?
No, she didn't.
No, she didn't.
8 points.
Right?
He doesn't have to wrestle someone to get his point across. Relax. He's totally going to run and he's totally going to win. Calm the fuck down.
Point. Yeah.
DeSantis won by 20.
Yeah, DeSantis
Sorry.
was higher. Yeah. It
Okay. I take it back.
Okay.
was about like Kemp. It was about like.
I was sorry.
Well, then I'll take my bet back.
Yeah, you're going to Kemp.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
Doesn't work that way.
Sorry. Josh Shapiro, who is an incredible candidate out of Pennsylvania, Jared Polis in Colorado, and Tim Ryan, who lost, but really showed people a path of how you can campaign in a state like Ohio. I mean, he's not, obviously, Sherrod Brown is special on another level. And these people are going to be around, and they're very appealing.
Yeah, Ryan's going to ultimately get. I think they're going to kind of pull him into cabinet or something to help him grow.
Well, you say good.
He's good. Same thing with Mahoney.
They've been successful.
But I think
and-
that you saw last night as well. There were a pretty impressive bunch of young Republicans who won as well.
Yes.
And you haven't really heard their names yet, but you
But you can prattle them off. Come on, Dana. Who are they?
will get to know them.
Yeah, say them. You know, they're really impressive. There's Smith. There's Ben Schmo.
Some of them will be the first, that we've had some good diversity. For example, the number of women that have won. There was also the one race down on the border that was able to be won by one of the Latina candidates, Kevin McCarthy.
Yeah, just rattling those names off. They're all got. Jesus, stop it. Wait, I can't write down this fast. These fucking magnificent candidates that you can. Jesus Christ, you can't name one. She was the spokesperson. She can't name one.
McCarthy had recruited. So there are.
The Latina, the Mexican chick or whatever who got the thing, who won the, her. Awesome. She's going to, boom. Yeah. Go team. Get the fuck out of here.
There are some bright spots and some younger people that are running on both sides, and that is.
Yeah, whatever their name. There's what's his name and what's her name and who's he, what's it, and who the fuck and where was I.
Not a bad thing if you're trying to build a bench.
That's right. Jesus Christ. That's where they ended it. That's how they ended it. That's it, which is great. They got we got so many. With that, boom. You think the Botox needle got into her actually? Oh, all right. Might have actually had a puncture. That's entirely possible. By the way, you're watching Hal Sparks Mega Worldwide. If I do say so myself, we're having a good time.